Dear colleagues, I am Jana Birova from St. Cyril and Methodius University in Trnava in Slovakia. And before I start my presentation, I would like to express my gratitude to the summit organizers and conference speakers to have the possibility to be a part of you and to be among you. The title of my presentation is Weaknesses and Perspectives of Using Digital Technologies During the COVID-19 Foreign Languages Lessons. My presentation is divided into two parts. In the first part, I present the general conditions of distance learning and distance teaching. And in the second part, I present some qualitative data that I got from several platforms and several teachers. Let's have a look.
At the beginning, it should be noted that the distance teaching learning can take several forms. For example, the distance teaching learning mainly consists of sending homework to be worked up, but online learning is the real lesson maintained via internet by the use of one of three platforms, whether Zoom, MS Teams, or Meet Jitsi. In Slovakia, some prescriptions were made by Ministry of Education. Distance education plans consist of programming the online lessons in order to simplify the content access to the pupils or students, as well as not to overload teachers. For clearer planning and organization of time, a Zoom or a MS Teams schedule of the class had been created, in which space was given especially to the so-called core subjects. The frequency and number of hours were shortened. Missing tasks were replaced by self-study or distance learning. Distance teaching learning took place in shape of assignments and independent work to study through the platform called EduPage by the aid of online lesson using the Zoom or MS Team applications. For students who, for various reasons, were unable to participate in online teaching, the content of the online lesson was informatively summarized for better self-study in shape of homework. Some schools managed assistants who were delivering homework to the learners' post boxes, so at homes. Teachers of individual subjects communicated with students also by means of their school email and with parents by telephone according to their individual discretion. Teachers of individual subjects might have organized students into groups or combined them at their discretion. Some subjects couldn't have been taught without social contact and without their presence in the classroom, while others could have been handled very well online. Assistants in charge of pupils with special needs were supposed to connect to the teacher's online lessons and work individually with these pupils. A particular primary school programmed teaching of subjects as following: mathematics 2 hours, Slovak language 3 hours, English language 2 hours, second foreign language 1 hour, physics 1 hour, chemistry 1 hour, biology 1 hour, history 1 hour, geography 1 hour. Students were continuously submitting assigned essays, projects, workbook exercises and online exercises. If necessary, an individual approach was chosen. Students who didn't understand the content might have contacted individually their teachers. The content was presented once again outside the scheduled program on the basis of an individual agreement. Communication with children and parents was regular. As elsewhere in society, there are weak social groups that couldn't have had any access to the internet or online sessions or distance learning. These groups were able to take advantage of the Ministry of Education's offer to take part on learning process in the summer during the summer schools when the pandemic was on decline. We held a sort of micro-research on 3 Slovak educational platforms and were successful to collect qualitative data about weaknesses and perspectives of using online technologies and techniques. Some teachers consider the online teaching as challenge for creating the durable materials. Some of them think that students abuse the forms of teaching and their knowledge slowly runs down. In addition to using funny, sometimes ridiculous, or even offensive photographs, students used to abuse online teaching by practicing truancy, by inventing excuses such as, "I can't use a microphone," "I can't proceed MS Teams," "My camera is not working," "Internet does not work," "I can only faintly hear you," but also, "I have digestive problems," "Wait please," "Can you repeat please?" saying this while playing a computer game during the online session. We present some weaknesses from the research: loss of or reduction of social contact, curriculum reduction, reduction of lessons, technical problems of various kinds, not suitable for children from poor families, not suitable for children who need urgent social contact for mental well-being, weakening of friendship between students, weakening of contact between teacher and students, weakening of interaction, illegal absence from compulsory education, growth of intrapersonal intelligence, decrease in interpersonal intelligence, decline of emotional intelligence, the rise of cyberbullying, health problems such as C3, C4 disc hernia. Perspectives: preparation of durable materials, reuse of materials, adaptation of materials, possibility of content and subject teaching sustainability during learners' illness or school closure, reducing bullying at school, connecting students from different schools, creation of an edu school by the creative team of Ministry of Education, Dr. Grolling, Minister, Dr. Hapalova, Director of National Pedagogical Institute, and the State Secretaries Professor Paulis and Dr. Filipova, with some associations. Another perspective could be mentioned: the creation of subject-oriented online platforms. Within the interviews we held with teachers of French in Slovakia, we proceeded to another conclusion or idea, which was made by the Slovak Association of Teachers of French, and it is opening the online French language lessons for students who do not have the opportunity to learn the French in some Slovak regions. As these regions, they don't have a foreign language teacher. This would increase the number of students or pupils learning French language. Within the interviews with other association of teachers of French or other institutions such as University Agency for Francophonie for Central and Eastern Europe, represented by the director Mohamed Ketada, or the institution Francophonia, established in Nice in France, represented by Jan Librati, who says that the way how to make work students more efficiently would be to put students from the same level of language from several countries in one online course and create so-called engaged lessons, les classes engagées. It would be a way how to learn, exchange knowledge and cultural values, acquire friendship by connecting pupils of the same level in a foreign language from several countries, and so create multicultural and multinational foreign language teaching process. To sum up our 10 minutes conference session, I would mention one teacher's witness. Let's call her LV professor. Back to school when another COVID-19 wave attacks the country? No thanks. I teach English 3rd and up to 9th grade of elementary school, so I use distance teaching techniques as well as those in personal contact. The first graders were left with 3 hours per week, The second graders were shortened to 2 online lessons a week. And we gradually switched to Zoom and assignments in electronic form. It's because all the children have at least some kind of connection and computer technology. And my subject can be taught well in this way. She teaches English. After a month of this double task work, I am surprised to find out that both distance and presential groups show exactly the same shortcomings in training. They don't do their homework on time. I always have to control everything strictly. They don't learn words continuously and are incredibly shocked when I warm them up from vocabulary, so I can only dream of translating texts. And giving a check on the grammar of a given lesson without prior notice would be considered an unforgivable meanness of the teacher. Even virtual exercises no longer attract. Why is that so? The argument about the higher quality of full-time teaching, presential teaching at schools, does not stand with me, as well as the argument of social isolation. Since I see children meeting their friends in the afternoon, and they can always and also talk online. Rather, I think that after we barely ran into the distance systems, going back to the benches in December for a while will mean another shock in our plans and discipline. This presentation is one of the outputs of the Erasmus Plus project number 2021 SK01 KA 101 0 set 8052. Thank you very much for your attention.
In conclusion, I would like to express once again my gratitude to the summit organizers and the conference speakers, and I am very thankful for having the possibility to be a part of your great and biggest summit concerning languages and linguistics. If you decide to make any citation, or if you decide to mention what I have been talking about here, I would be once again grateful and thankful to write me about this, and we can maybe cooperate, or we can maybe in future make a common article. Thank you very much. Have a nice time.